And we are here at the Stonewall Jackson Monument Memorial after just having, those are folks who've just taken the National Park's wonderful guided tour that I highly recommend here at Manassas Battlefield. But this whole area is much better known locally as Bull Run, and that's the reason is that's the name given it to by the Confederate side. And since the end of the Civil War, it's been mostly the Confederates who've been the sympathizers of the Confederacy who've been trying to rewrite the history of the Civil War, why it caused, what started it. And we're in Henry Hill, where the major fighting occurred, the major victory of the Confederates. And the reason this whole area exists is because in the 1920s, for many reasons related to rising racial tensions and efforts to repress civil rights, and the Sons of Confederate Veterans bought this area, and they bought it because this is where the Confederates won not one, but two civil wars, or Civil War battles. And they wanted to make sure that people remembered this spot as part of the lost cause mythology. The idea that the wrong side won the war, evil North won the war, all of that. And it really is important to look around here, because I think we're, besides the whole idea that the big lie in the just cause mythology that slavery was okay, that's not so bad, and it really wasn't about slavery, which it was about slavery. Any historian, that's what the National Park Service teaches us on these tours. This was all about slavery. What else it was about was the idea of raising arms and fighting a war to resolve our differences. And we're losing that. Those are the Confederate guns over there. See the Confederate guns over there? And the Union guns were over here. And and they were very naive when they came here. They both sides thought they would win easily. And what we're forgetting as a nation, and why we need to look at the issue of Confederate symbols and Confederate memorials and monuments, is that when you glorify a man like this, and by the way, the Sons of Confederate Veterans eventually sold the land to the federal government, and one of their conditions was that this monument be built. It's in the deed to this land. So we really need to remember that the South was not right and just. They were not right and just to raise arms against the federal government. They were not right. It was wrong to do so. Slavery was wrong. But beyond that, resolving our differences peacefully through the Constitution. It was unconstitutional to secede. There is no provision, even if you see it on the internet, that allows a state to legally secede. It has to be done through a constitutional change to allow secession. So we need to look at Confederate memorials and statues and symbols, not just because that they represent systemic racism that's been there all along, that is really has really harmed people of color, and we've been denying it all along and overlooking it all, just like these Confederate symbols. But we need to look at Confederate symbols and relearn the history of the Civil War, the true history of the Civil War, that the South was not just and right to secede and initiate the Civil War and fight over slavery. They were wrong, because our nation is facing conflict, and we are forgetting the need to resolve our differences through nonviolent means and through the U.S. Constitution. So please come and visit this beautiful, beautiful place, and come and learn your country's history, and learn the true history of America that does not glorify people like Stonewall Jackson. Please come here and learn your country's history. Maybe relearn it if you've been taught the wrong thing. This field where so many Americans died, so many Americans died. We should never, ever repeat the horrible, horrible, flawed idea of fighting a civil war.